All right, guys, so most of my videos that I've done in the past have been technique demonstrations, showing you how to do different movements and that sort of thing. Today we're gonna do something a little bit different. A lot of times I get asked questions by my students about how to develop some strength and that sort of thing for jiu-jitsu. And I just wanna share with you guys a couple things. Start with today, the floor press. So if you've never done it before, we're starting with this one because it is a very simple movement to get the hang of. Most people, especially in the United States where everybody's just they're so worried about a bench, right? What do you bench? It's not what do you deadlift or squat, which is probably more important for overall strength, but they ask, what do you bench? So we're gonna, and everybody's bench press. So we're gonna talk about how to do this exercise and then talk about, maybe the beneficial property that it has for jiu-jitsu. So if you've done a chest press before, then you kind of know what to do. Let's talk about the floor press. So the floor press is going to be where we bench or do a chest press from the floor. So if you notice, my triceps are going to touch the mat. My chest the bar never actually touches my chest, and we're going to push up. So as you lower the weight down, you want to make sure that it's lowered under control. At the very bottom here, once the triceps touch, give it a pause in a second, and then explode back up. Meanwhile, you want to make sure that you keep your back tight and not just relaxed. As we push, here. Now, seemingly a simple exercise, but let's talk about some of the basic stuff to make sure that you're not benching it correctly. Because I actually had, when I was filming this earlier in the part that you'll see afterwards, one of my students was actually working out and I corrected a few things, and he noticed that he's having a lot of shoulder pain when he was trying to do the bench press, and it was because he had his elbows flared out. So a lot of us, especially back in the day, were taught to bench press like this, with our elbows out. And if you look, skull way out like that, right? It just wreaks havoc on your shoulder. So when you bench, whether it be floor press or whatever, you want to make sure that you're bringing your elbows in, and a lot of times the cue will be used as far as to tighten your back to sort of bend the bar, okay? We'll come down, bringing our elbows down at about a 45-degree angle, and then pushing back up, right? So that's going to be important for keeping our shoulders in a good, strong position. Next thing is the wrist. Make sure that when you're benching, we don't let the wrist go anywhere else. Keep it vertical. And make sure that that thumb is locked around and not sitting off to the side here. So that essentially is just another exercise. Now, the beneficial property, I think, to the floor press that it has, besides the powerlifting sort of benefit, which is it'll help you extend out that lockout position, right? Where most people, if they're doing heavy benches, they kind of stall towards the end of the exercise. If we think about, say we get mounted, so the person is mounted, we're going to have to push from this position. Now, obviously, we're not just going to simply bench press alone, but if we bridge up and hip escape, boom, right here. Like the exercise, a lot of times when you get in those positions, you're going to have dead weight on you. They're just going to be hanging, probably pushing down on you too. And you're going to have to explode from that pulse position. So when we get the bottom of the motion where our tricep relaxes and then we explode forward, that same sort of explosive movement is going to be helpful for that position, as well as other various positions where you might have to push up from the gut. Again, we don't want our jiu-jitsu to be completely based on strength alone, but a little strength at the right time can be very, very helpful. It goes a long way in jiu-jitsu. So the floor press, try it out next time you're doing like a sort of a chest or upper body type day. Throw it into your routine.